So see if you can follow your breath from in and out through your nose, from the inhale all the way to the exhale. And specifically pay attention to your nose. And then continue to breathe, but now start paying attention to the parts of your body that you feel fill up as you breathe in. And then just notice those same parts deflate as you breathe out. So you're still following from the inhale all the way to the exhale, but now you're paying attention more towards your chest and your stomach. So the first thing we're going to start with is practicing the full exhale. So you're going to lay there and it's going to look like this. It's in through your nose and then out through your mouth like you're fogging up a big glass window. And you're going to try to shoot for about 10-second exhale and then just regular breath in through your nose. So in through the nose, open mouth, fog. And you can even count in your head. See if you can get to 10-second exhale. It's going to be pretty hard. So what you can do is you can slow down the breathing to make it more prolonged. And see if each exhale you can go a little longer. And so you're paying attention to your breath in and then just deflating your entire body. And I'll tell people exhale until it gets uncomfortable. So it is uncomfortable right at the end. You're thinking of like squeezing all the air out of you just by fully exhaling. And then just regular breath in. Notice at the end of the exhale, you should feel a little bit of ab tension building up. So just notice that, and then notice how you just release it on the inhale. Just relax. Give me a couple more like that. In through the nose, full breath out. At the end of the exhale, you notice the abs, and then you relax. And rest. So that's the breathing part. Now we're going to go into tucking. So you're going to use your chair. You're going to pretend the chair has wheels on it. So you can't push the chair away from you. You have to keep it underneath you. So what you'll do, pretend there's a wall behind your feet. So your feet are against the wall. So your toes are not pointing down. And then slowly, you're going to start dragging your feet down and your hips are going to slightly start coming off the ground. So they're rolling up. You're not arching your back. So you roll, continue to roll. You should feel a lot of hamstrings. And then all the way down, completely relax. And then slight drag down into the chair. Start rolling your hips. Think of slowly peeling your hips off the ground. And then here, you just breathe in and out through your nose. You're just paying attention to the rolling up. Okay. So everybody bring your feet closer to you. So bring your knees up towards your chest a little more. Perfect. Awesome. Low back is relaxed, abs are relaxed. You're just using your feet to roll up. And really pay attention to what you're feeling. You should feel the back of your thighs. And you can notice how leveraging your feet, you get more of the back of your thighs. And relax. And I'm going to flip over on all fours. So this is the less exaggerated cat-cow. So instead of your whole spine moving, you're only going to try to move through your hips. So what you're thinking of what's driving the movement are your back pockets. So and the breathing stays the same, in through the nose, out through your mouth. So as you inhale, your back pockets get pulled down. And then as you exhale through your mouth, your back pockets get pulled up, your low back just relaxes down, and then inhale, back pockets get pulled down, and then that's all you're doing is paying attention to where your back pockets are. So they're either getting pulled down or they're getting pulled up. And this is a move where I tell people to move as long as it's comfortable. So for some people, that's a lot of movement in both directions. Some people, one direction bothers them more than the other. So kind of work with what you have. Inhale, your back pockets get pulled down. Exhale, your back pockets are getting pulled up. And think all of the motion is being driven by your back pockets. And rest. You're going to go back to your back, going back to the breathing, the full exhale. So it's in through your nose. And this time, what you're really going to pay attention to is the hold at the end of the exhale. So it's in through the nose, full breath out through your mouth. Notice the ab tension for about 3 seconds before you relax and breathe back in. So each phase of the breathing, you have something to pay attention to. On the exhale, you're noticing everything deflating, deflating, deflating. And then notice the ab tension. Hold on to it for about 3 seconds. And just by releasing it, you should automatically breathe in. And even say it in your head. You're holding on to the tension as you're holding your air out. That can get a little bit uncomfortable. And then you're letting it go. And just by letting it go, the breath in should just happen. Let's see if each exhale you can go a little longer. And see if you can hold the air out a little longer this time, about 5 seconds. And it should feel pretty awesome to relax and breathe back in. And relax. You're going to go back to the tucking. So make sure your knees are closer to your chest than your hips. So bring your knees or your feet closer to you. And when you're rolling, go really slow. Think one vertebra at a time. Your tailbone is rolling up. And continue to roll, continue to roll. And right where you feel like you can't roll anymore, that's pretty much where you want to stop. Hold that for about 3 seconds this time, and then all the way down. So nice and slow. Think one vertebra at a time. And low back should be relaxed, so you shouldn't really feel anything there. It should be all of the back of your thighs and maybe some glutes. Roll, roll. Right there, Sandy, stop. Go a little lower. A little more. Right there. Can you roll your hips from that position without picking your hips up? So think of tucking the tailbone without, yes. Do you feel more glutes there? That's perfect. That's kind of where you want to stop and then back down. Really good. Yes. Awesome. And relax. And then back to all fours. So we're going to go back to the back pockets. And here I encourage people to find that motion that feels comfortable. And then sometimes every round, people feel more comfortable to move more in each direction, especially people who have a sensitivity on the back side. So exhale, back pockets get pulled up. And then inhale, back pockets get pulled down. Looks good. And still fully exhale through your mouth. And rest. Back to your breathing, laying on your back. So this time you're going to go in intervals of like 3 to 5 breaths before you take a little bit of a break. So the last round, what you did was you fully exhaled, you found your tension, and then you let go. This time, I want you to hold on to the tension as you breathe in. So you're going to breathe underneath the tension that you created by fully exhaling. So it's going to feel a little more restricted. Another way to think about it is as you fully exhale, you should feel your low back on the ground. If you keep your low back on the ground as you breathe in, that should also get you the same outcome of breathing underneath your tension. And then after 3 to 5 breaths, totally relax, start all over. So it's in through the nose. The exhale is the same. Find that full breath out. So you deflate your entire body right where it gets uncomfortable. And then you're still holding on to the tension at the end, but instead of letting it go on the breath in, you hold on to it. And it'll feel like you're not getting enough air in, and that's normal. But still try to get that full breath out. Nice. So As you fully exhale, just picture everything just sinking down to the ground. And take a little bit of a break. So bring your feet back closer to you. We're going to combine the two. So I want your pelvic roll to just be a tiny bit. So just roll a little bit, like your tailbone comes up, but that's it. Because I want your low back on the ground. So once your tailbone is up, you should feel some hamstrings. And then start breathing. And the breathing stays the same that you just practiced. In through the nose, but now your hips just stay there and they're not moving. Full breath out through your mouth. Deflate, deflate until everything kind of gets pushed down into the ground as you fully exhale. Keep that there as you breathe in. So with your attention, you should feel both sides of your low back on the ground. And as you breathe in, see if you can still notice both of those sides being pushed down. And relax. You can do this one more time. So whenever you're ready, start rolling your hips. If you want a little more intensity, you can roll up a little higher, but if this is plenty, you can stay there. And breathe. And relax. Back to all fours. So exhale as your back pockets get pulled up. And then inhale, back pockets get pulled down. So all the motion driven by the back pockets. As long as it's comfortable, move as much as you can. And relax. So you're done with the chair, but you're going to go back on your back. We're going to add a reach to the breathing. So if you didn't feel much abs before, you definitely will after this. So your head should stay relaxed on the ground. You're going to find your feet. So you're paying attention to your feet. By pushing your feet down, you're going to roll your hips a little bit so your low back relaxes on the ground. So that stays. You might feel a little bit of hamstrings, glutes. If you don't, that's okay. Your arms are going to come off the ground as you fully exhale. But notice that my head stays on the ground, and then I'm going to try to keep it relaxed in that position. And each exhale, I'm going to pretend I'm being pulled by my fingertips. And then back with the inhale, feeling both sides of your low back on the ground. Really good. And then you'll keep the reach the whole time. So the whole time someone's pulling you from your fingertips. Awesome. And once your shoulders are off the ground, check in with your head. It should be relaxed on the ground with your chin away from your chest. And then full breath out. You can really picture your upper body just deflating as you're exhaling. The more you reach, the more abs you'll feel. And as you breathe in, keep the reach and see if you can feel both sides of your low back on the ground. And relax. And now we're going to go into the squat hold. So feet are going to be straight ahead, about hip width apart. So you'll set up this way, and it's the same move that you've been practicing. So you're going to pretend someone's grabbing you from your back pockets, and they're pulling them down. So if you put your hands on your back pockets like this, and I pull down, notice that my fingertips are pointing down. So once you have your fingertips pointing down, squat down a little bit, and again, my fingertips are pointing down, they're not pointing back. So once you have that spot, pull the back pockets down, keep tucking, keep going, and hold that spot. Now reach your arms forward. Pretty good, nice. And really feel your heels, really feel your feet. So definitely you should feel a bunch of quads, but then the breathing stays the same. And then as you come up, push down into your feet, keep your hips underneath you. Perfect. And now you're gonna go into a toe touch. If this is a massive, can everybody touch their toes? Let me look at let me see the toe touch. Okay, so this is not to really increase your toe touch. It's more to have you exhale upside down. So don't try to like push the stretch. What you're just trying to do is exhale with your chest underneath your hips. So relax into this position, in through the nose. Full breath out. So you're just focusing on getting all the air out. You're not really pushing to get that extra stretch. And if you're feeling a massive stretch in your hamstrings, you can soften the knees a little bit. And rest. Back to your back with the reach. So laying on your back, feet on the ground. And then slight tuck through your hips, just barely. So your low back should stay on the ground, nice and relaxed. And then in through the nose. Someone's reaching you from your fingertips. Each exhale, you reach a little more. And keep your low back on the ground as you breathe in, so that you should feel a ton of abs, some glutes, some hamstrings. Don't lose your feet, so you're pushing down into that as well. And relax. Back to your squat. So hip width apart, and then back pockets. Soften your knees and pull the back pockets down, and slight squat, just barely, right there. That's perfect. Awesome. Christine, that is so good. Reach more, Julia. And Sandy, that is amazing. Got your heels. And then as you all come up, push into your feet. Keep your hips underneath you. Nice. And then now you're going to go back on your back. And you are going to finish with what you started with, which is just paying attention to your regular breathing. So get comfortable and just notice if there's a difference of your ability to pay attention to your inhale all the way to the exhale, just in and out through your nose. And then whenever you're ready, start moving around. Let me unmute everybody. Cool. Good job. How was that for you, Sandy?
It was terrific. It was hard, but
How was your back throughout the whole thing?
oh, it was fine. It didn't hurt. I got a little bit of a stretch on the sore part, but I didn't feel like I was using that in a bad way.
Okay. And were you able to feel abs when you were doing all the exhaling component to it?
Starting to. I think I found it a couple times, so I know what to shoot for.
Perfect. Yeah, you did. Yeah, everything looked really good.
I think when I'm paying attention, I can not always paying attention.
It's hard. It's really hard. And that's why when you like add something like movement wise, it's easy to like catch your attention to that. Did you notice a difference between the first time paying attention to your regular breathing and then towards the at the end?
Yes. I felt like I had more capacity and there was just more volume to fill.
Awesome. Julia, what about you? Did you feel a difference from the first part and then the end?
Yeah, I mean, when we started this, I could do like a 6-second exhale. And then today when we started, I was at 10, and at the end I was at 12, which for me is like a world record.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes, Sandy, how long was your exhale?
It started at 6. I think I got to 8, barely.
That's cool. That's really
Well, that
good.
took me 2 months, so. Congratulations.
It was like 8 and then
Yeah, and then that just takes practice. Just like if I wanted to train my bicep, I'm gonna have to do a lot of bicep curls. And if you want to train your abs to do a lot of the work for you with your exercises, breathing is just a way to basically get those muscles to contract. It's a really good way to get them to contract. So the more you practice, and then the more you can have the same structure when you do your workouts. Like if you're doing a plank, same thing, fully exhale, reach your arms through. Or doing any of your ab exercises, when you're working out, think of the same cues.
Okay.
Just to reinforce it. But I can send you this recording, and then you can see all my other recordings. But feel free to join on a Sundays.
I will. Thank you.
And then I also I'll email you and you can email me back. But if this is something that you really enjoy, I also do these throughout the week for my clients as well. So we also have the option of like a membership where you do 3 of these every week.
Okay, terrific.
Like an added thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
Not yet. I think it was a lot of moving parts towards the end with like rolling my hip. Actually, how much tension do you keep in your feet when you do that?
Oh, when you're dragging down?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to, right? But
were you feeling like your calves and like muscles around your feet?
No, I felt I didn't know if I was like overusing them. That's all. I should do some more and then have my questions are too unfocused right now. I should do some of the videos and then I'll be back.
No, that's okay. It's as long as you're feeling challenged. So on the scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is hamstrings are cramping, they're about to rip off my legs. I want like around 5 and 6-ish.
Okay.
If you're like 1 or 2, or I'm not even sure if I'm feeling them, then that's when you start to drag down more. So I want them about 5 and 6 on the intensity.
Okay.
And
once I got in the right position, I felt it.
Oh yeah, that extra roll. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so for Julia and Christine, just because you all coach this, the cue that I like that has been working really well, especially since I can't touch people or be in front of them, is what I don't want, which most people do, is they start by rolling their hips. So they start out pretty good rolling, but then they start to pick up. And you can see that. So they roll and then they pick up. So what I've been doing is I get people to come down. So come about halfway down. Now, don't allow your hips to move up in space. Give me that extra roll. And that's what gets people like rolling their hips, but then they're not allowed to come up. If someone takes cues well, that works really well. And if it's not working out, you might think they just don't have access to that motion. So you're asking them to extend their hips, but then it's restricted there. But then they can feel where that stopping point is. So then now that's as high as they'll go. And I'll do that with a glute bridge as well. Any questions for me?
How does that look with the glute bridge? Yeah.
So here, very similar. You think of the hip bones on the front of your hips rolling, or your belt buckle rolling towards your belly button, and then you roll, continue to roll. And when you feel like you can't roll anymore, that's usually where I stop people. So a lot of people will come all the way up, arching their back. So roll them right where they feel like they can't roll any longer or any further.
Huh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
So not up here.
correct. So do that again. So roll, roll. And right where you feel like you can't go any further, what I'll tell people is really push down into your feet. And that should get you even more glutes and hamstrings.
Yes.
And you just hold that position. And then I carry that over to like the same pushing down into your feet into all other exercises like squatting and all that stuff. Perfect. I'm known to make things harder.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm doing everything from, arching, which I just realized. So I need some relief from that.
Yeah, it really just people need more options. Not to say that arching is bad, but if it's the only option we have, it's good to work on the things that you're not good at. And when we work on these positions, we find it very consistently that people are able to feel abs and glutes and hamstrings, and it's nice to have that consistency within exercises. So that's what these cues do. Yeah. Any other questions? Cool, you all killed it today. Really good. Christine, your squat's getting a lot better. Yeah, it looks good.
I like your hand cue, the one that you put the hand at the back. That was quite useful to get a picture of it, of the
Yeah,
direction. Yeah,
I have to get
I really like
creative
that.
because I can't touch people. My business, Dave, he's so upset. He complains about it every day because he is the hands-on master. Like he was a massage therapist for so many years, but now we can't touch people. And then every day he's like, I just hate that I have to use my words and I could just move them real quick. But yeah, that one seemed to really work well in a class one day.
How has it been having your gym open?
It's been interesting. We cut our capacity to half, so we only have 2 people in a semi-private and then up to 5 people in a class. And in a semi-private, you get to split the room in half. And we cut all of our sessions to 40 to 45 minutes, and we have 2 doors. So then we have 2 fans that blow out and air out the room for a whole 15 minutes between each client. And then no one overlaps because people are leaving 45 minutes in, and then people have to get there right on the hour. So far, only one class has made me wear a mask because I can social distance. I mean, I can be 10 feet apart and just coach you from the other side of the room. So in the class, I'll wear a mask, but then all my semi-privates have told me I don't have to wear a mask, and they don't wear one, only in the common area. But we're lucky that we have an entire room where it's just you in the gym and then us.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And then hopefully we can get some people in. We just have to figure out how to meet people and with this new normal. Cool. Well, awesome. I'm gonna go on a walk now. It was awesome working with you all this morning. You all did great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lucy.
Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all next Sunday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.